Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale and thank you to Googlefy for sponsoring this video. I have teased you on socials. I teased you here when Nonna was here. I teased you a little bit, but I am going to be going to Italy this summer. I am so excited. I can't wait to see all the things, hang out with all the people, eat all the food, and really just immerse myself with all of the things that I love and that I look forward to every single year. But one of the things that's gonna make my trip even more enjoyable is the switch that I've made to Googlefy. Googlefy is a phone plan. I was very attracted to it mainly because I love what it has to offer, but my best friends have switched to Googlefy, so it immediately alerted me and I was like, you know what? This sounds like it's something right up my alley. They have unlimited plans for you to choose from, starting at $20 per line for 4+ lines. And really, the plan I chose has 3 features that for me were just non-negotiable. The high-speed data abroad is a must for me. I can't even tell you how wonderful it's gonna be to go to Italy. I don't have to switch my SIM. I don't have to call anyone. It's just gonna work. No extra charges, no extra hidden fees, no contracts needed. It's perfect for me. I also love that there is a feature there that you can use your data, you can share your data with other SIMs. So whether you have extra devices, maybe for the kids or a spouse, you can share your data that way. And then the third feature that as a food creator, as an online creator, was a must for me is the hotspot tethering. I can work from anywhere. I can work from the bar outside of Nonna's house. I can work from Nonna's house. I can work from anywhere, and I've got the data. So those are the 3 key, I was gonna say key ingredients, although that fits. Those are the 3 key features that really attracted me to the Unlimited Plus plan. But if you wanna learn more information, just go to fi.google.com, have a look, browse for yourself, do the research you want to. I simply think that if it comes with no hidden fees and no contracts, it's a win. And like I said, my best friends switched to it before I did and they rave about it. So I'm thrilled to have made the switch. So having said that, when I go to Italy, let me just tell you what my day starts like, okay? Wake up, Nonna makes coffee. Then we immediately go to the bar around the corner and get the most delicious, giant donuts, and we devour them. And that's what we're gonna be making today because I want you to have that same Italian morning routine that I have when I go there. We're gonna make what I call bar donuts. They are fluffy, they are giant, they are delicious, and they are going to be perfect if you want to feel like you're eating like an Italian on a Sunday morning. So let me roll you through the ingredient list so we can get rolling. For the ingredients, you're gonna need all-purpose flour and a pinch of salt. You'll also need granulated sugar. This is some instant yeast. You can also use active dry yeast, but just make sure to bloom it first. A couple of eggs, unsalted butter that's been softened. You're gonna need some slightly warm milk, and you're gonna need some vanilla. I use Italian vanilla, but you can use regular vanilla extract. These are so easy and they're so simple. If you've been here a while, then you know, speaking of Italy, a good 10 years ago, actually more than that, right? Yeah, it has to be more than that. It has to be, no, it's about 10 years ago when I went to Italy, my Nonna and I made graffe, which are Italian donuts. This is slightly different because this does not have a potato base. These are typically the ones that you find in bars. But if you are going to someone's house and they're making homemade donuts in the Napolitan household, you can rest assured they are made with a potato base, which I have a recipe on that and I also have it in my book. But these are what I call bar donuts and they're so incredible. You're gonna pretty much add everything to a large bowl of a standing mixer. And then you're gonna fit that with a dough hook. And you're just gonna raise the roof and just start kneading this. As you knead, you'll pour in your milk. So I'm just gonna get this going and then I'm gonna start pouring in the milk. Start adding the milk and then you're gonna just continue to let this knead for about 2 to 3 minutes or until the dough kind of comes together. When it's there, because it's so loud, I'll show you what it looks like. Look how gorgeous this dough is. I always like to take dough out of the mixer and just plop it onto my work surface with the tiniest bit of flour and pull it together until it's really nice and smooth. It already smells amazing. Like, it's just dough, but it smells amazing. And if you've been to Italy and you've had your breakfast at a cafe, we call them bars, then you know that intoxicating smell of a fresh graffa, a fresh Italian donut that is like this big, with your coffee, it's phenomenal. And now, thanks to Googlefy, I can sit there on my laptop, do all of my work, check my emails, check your comments. It is incredible. I don't know if I mentioned that the plan that I chose is called Unlimited Plus. It's $40 per line for four or more lines, and you get 4 additional data SIM cards that you can share with your little ones, spouse, or whatnot. Because if you have a 5-year-old like I do, that will absolutely not allow you to sit there and do your work, which you can now do thanks to the tethering, to hotspot tethering. You can just take a SIM, pop it into their device, share your data so that they can leave you alone while you do what you have to do. And the hotspot tethering works in the city, it works at home. For me, if I have to go to the city and I can bring my laptop, I can sit at a restaurant and I can get my work done like that, or it works if I am gonna be going to Italia. So, very excited, but for now, I'm gonna pop this into a bowl, cover it, and let it rest until doubled in volume. Dough has risen to about double. Now, it does take a while. It will take a couple of hours for the dough to rise, so don't panic, okay? It's really not a big deal. You just have to be patient. And these are so worth it. You can also let the dough just slowly rise to this point in the fridge overnight if you wanted to go down that route. Okay, so now you take your dough. I have a baking pan here, baking sheet with some parchment paper with just a little bit of flour. Just a little bit of flour. I'm gonna take this and I'm going to cut this into 8. This is gonna make 8 really giant donuts. But if you, listen, if you know, you know, okay? In Italy, bar donuts are giant and they're not meant to be one per person. Don't tell me that. Excuse me. But they are meant to be shared, but let's just say I share with myself. You're gonna take each one, you're gonna roll it into a ball. I just do it with my hand, and it's really important you don't add any additional flour, because if you're gonna add any additional flour at this point, what happens is as you're trying to do this part, it's gonna slip and slide all over the place. And then you just place it like that, okay? You can also, if you don't know how to roll it with your hand, you can also just take it and just stretch it like that, and then just pinch the ends to seal. And you're gonna do that. You wanna make sure that they're roughly all about the same size. I'm absolutely not gonna get a scale to weigh these. I'm just gonna eyeball it, and it's gonna be just fine. I'm just gonna go ahead and roll these out. And then I'm just gonna set them aside to rest for like 20 minutes, not that long. You just wanna let them rest enough so that when you go to roll them out into their shape, they don't spring back onto themselves. You just want to give it some room to rest. That's about it. I'm gonna cover them with the same plastic wrap I was covering the bowl, and move forward. These were rising a little more than they should have, but it's been about 40 minutes. Take your hands, dip them slightly into some water like this. You don't want them wet, you just want them like that. It helps. Because there's some flour at the bottom of these, it kind of helps the dough not slip from your fingers. And just sort of like roll it out like so, like that. And then you're gonna take it like you're gonna make an X, but you're not. You're just gonna do one of these, okay? Like that. And then you're gonna place them on like a baking sheet lined with some parchment paper and dusted with some flour. And you're gonna continue to do this process. And then, I know, listen, it is a process, but like I said, you can make the dough the day before, but just repeat this process and then cover them. I cover them with a lint-free kitchen towel and I let them rise until they're overly doubled in volume, because you want these to be really fluffy and really light. So give them some time, and when they're there, I will show you what they look like. You can clearly see, I'm just gonna go with this one, that they've doubled in volume. Get your oil nice and hot. You want it to be about 350. Oh yeah, that one was my tester. This one's gonna be absolutely perfect. Cook them for about a minute or so on each side. You want them to be lightly golden brown. Land them on some paper towel so that they absorb some of the grease before you add them to your granulated sugar. So I'm gonna let those go. Oh yeah, they need to get nice and lightly golden, and then I'm just gonna continue to make them, and I'm gonna land them on that one. Last one out. I just kind of do that for a second, and then I just coat them. You need that oil because otherwise it has nothing to stick to. And then as it cools, you know what I'm doing. You know I saved the bottom one, which is the first one for me, because it's cooled down now. But they are so beautiful. Huh. Admittedly, they're not as big as the one you get at the bar, but let's face it, these are, oh, and they smell, look at that. Look at the softness. Oh yeah. Look at it again, because this rise and that softness, they're not dense. They are absolute perfection. If you can't go to the local bar and get yourself a cappuccino before 2 p.m. and a donut, make them at home. A weekend project that you will adore. I hope you enjoy spending time with me. Once again, thanks to Google-Fi for sponsoring this video. I'm gonna go turn up with my donuts. The recipe's on LaurenTheKitchen.com. Don't know if I told you, it's there. I'll see you next time. Bye.